Hi, I'm Ashley Johnson with Clear Rose TV, and it's the opening night of the Culver City Film Festival, and we just had the actors panel, Broadening Your Reach as an Actor, and I'm sitting here with Matt William Knowles. Thank you so much for coming out, staying for a spotlight interview. What I really admired about you in terms of talking about broadening your reach as an actor, it's senior year in college. You're at Clemson University. You thought you pretty much had your whole life planned out. Boom, this football injury happened. And instead of, just falling by the wayside or anything like that, you went and you did service work in China. And all these blessings started to happen to you, where you moved into acting and hosting, and you stayed there. So I'm really interested to see, because a lot of American actors are looking how to find their way, let's say, internationally. You really got your break in China. So what was it that connected you to stay in China once you started working?
Okay, wow. What connected me to stay in China once I started working? It was really the fact that I was just willing to learn from what was going on there. And I was in a country where they couldn't speak English, and I had to learn Chinese. And I didn't have a plan for what I was going to do with that, but I knew that it was going to help me somehow. And it ended up helping me in a way that I didn't know, and I fell into acting, and I could sing Mandarin songs, and what I did in China was basically I wanted to learn from the people there, so I went back to school there. I studied, acting at Beijing Film Academy. I was always willing to learn and to, even when I didn't know exactly why I was learning things, how exactly it was going to help me, I knew that it was going to help me in the future. And so I think it has something to do with being open to forging a new path, even when you don't exactly know where that path is taking you. I feel like that I saw these doors in my life, and the doors that I wanted to go through were closed, they were locked, and the other ones were open, and I just went through the open doors, and it just keeping on going through open doors led me to where I am. Yeah. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense, because a lot of times we think we have things just laid out, or something gets thrown in our way in terms of obstacles, and then something unexpected happens and it leads you to greater opportunities. So you seize those, and you've been very successful with that. What would you say would be, I guess, outside of obviously having to learn the language, but your biggest challenge as becoming an actor in the Chinese market?
Well, the biggest challenge at the Chinese market was learning Chinese. Absolutely. It's a very tough language. But I literally, it's because I went to the middle of nowhere, and there was nothing else to do other than learn Chinese. So, right, there was no film industry there. There was nothing to do. And I wanted to eat, and I wanted to make friends. So I just put in so much time to learn the language, because I wanted to fit in, and I wanted to be able to communicate and make friends, and what that did for me is to just set it opened doors in the future. So it was, you'd think if you wanted to go to be an actor in China that you'd go to Beijing, which is like the Hollywood, and you would just try to get a role. But that's not what I would recommend people do. What I know is you go to backwoods China, you learn the language for 4 years. And then you take that and the relationships you build from that. And then once you move into something, you have momentum, It's like training. It's like going to school. It's going to drama school or just reading so much and consuming content and accumulating knowledge. Then once you go to do the thing that you want to do, you're well equipped to do it. And you can succeed, and you will pass people, like the old tortoise and the hare thing, So.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your film that you have coming out, where it actually was the highest domestic film for China. What was that opportunity like, that experience?
It was a dream experience. Really, it's the most fascinating project I've ever been a part of. Ashura is a $118 million epic fantasy film. It's I play the role that's equivalent to Hercules. It's just phenomenal to be a part of that big of a project, that most epic of a story, so well produced, and so, amazing VFX, amazing set, amazing art direction, amazing costume direction. It's just, it kind of checks a lot of boxes of kind of like, bucket list items, like, so it was fantastic.
Well, I think that I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more about that film. Hopefully we get to see it over here, or maybe I get to go to China and see it. I don't know, whatever happens first, I'm good with whatever. I do want to take you back a moment to that senior in college who just had that accident playing football. What advice would you give yourself in that moment? What would be the advice? If you could go to your younger self and give advice at that point in time, what would it be?
I would say, man, that's a hard question. What would I tell myself after I was injured? I would say the path that... No, I would not. I wouldn't tell him to change anything. I wouldn't go back and like give him the lottery ticket or something like that, or I wouldn't tell him not to get injured. I would tell me to just follow the path as it opened up, and you're going to find your way. Just trust that, because I feel like if I changed his path, I'd screw myself up. It's been a great journey, and although it's kind of been like, no one from South Carolina, if you tell them you want to be an actor, are you ever going to tell them, okay, first move to the poorest area in China, But that's how it worked for me, and I don't think I could ever convince myself to do that. I think I just have to tell myself, what life has for you is the best plan.
Thank you so much for being here, and of course, we wish you the best of luck, of course, Matt.